Hi, I'm David Kubicki, President of the Columbia Township Trustees, and today we're here and I'm honored to be with the legendary 50 West founder and owner, Bobby Slattery.
Thanks for having me, David.
Thank you. And the brains behind the operations, Charlie Severe.
Too kind. Thank you, David.
Yes, okay. So anyway, first of all, just to let everybody know, any community would love to have a brand like 50 West in their community, and we're blessed to have them and watch them continue to thrive and grow. What's great about these guys, they're not only a very successful business, but they're good guys. Every time we do a community event, they step up, and they don't just step up, they actually show up themselves. So it's been a great relationship, and I really appreciate you guys doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So one of the biggest things that amazed me here recently is with their pivot and turn. You guys were getting ready to open a brand new restaurant, burger bar, right in the middle of this COVID pandemic, and I thought, wow, that's quite the challenge, Bobby. So why don't you tell us a little bit how that worked?
Yeah, well, there's a lot behind it. It was, COVID, as everybody knows, affected our lives in different ways. And for us, we had been working together on a plan for over 10 years that involved a crosswalk and involved a bike trail. It was the sort of the crowning achievement of 50 West. We were going to bring it all together, and then COVID hit right in the middle of it, and kind of put a damper on everything. So for us, at first we froze and we weren't sure what we were supposed to do when the governor had us shut down, and we weren't sure if we were allowed to open a restaurant in the middle of this thing. And ultimately it came down to our employees. We looked at our people and we were tired of letting people go, and we said, hey, we've got one shot at this. Even though we don't know if we're allowed to open the inside of our space, maybe there'll be people that'll show up for to-go food. And so we decided to open up the burger bar to save our employees jobs, and it was amazing. One of the most amazing pieces of it, though, was working with you guys with Columbia Township. When we sat down and we said, how are we going to get people down here? What are we going to do? We don't know if this food's going to. We don't know how this is going to work, because the way we designed the restaurant was not how it was going to have to operate during COVID. And we reached out to you and said, hey, David, can you help us out here? We're obviously, we're in a tight situation as far as cash is concerned. We're trying to figure out if we open, we need people to come down here. We don't know how to spread that message. And Columbia Township really stepped up, and you said, hey, there's some funding available that we're going to provide to our restaurants. So what we did was you gave us those funds to cover our food costs, which gave us we created the longest wait for a drive-through, I think, in Cincinnati history.
Yes.
For all of you that are out there that are in Columbia Township that waited the hour and a half to get a cheeseburger with our first run, thank you. We apologize if your order was messed up, but we appreciate you guys coming back and growing from there. And so what that taught us was, one, that the community wanted to support us. So anybody that was willing to wait an hour and a half in a drive-through line for a cheeseburger and a milkshake, it showed that they not only wanted to support our business, but they cared about our people. And so from there, the rest is kind of history. Eventually, the governor allowed us to open up the outdoor area. The bike trail happened at that same time. It was really funny because all these people had looked at us and said, did you guys plan all this for COVID? And the short answer was absolutely not. It was a partnership that we've been working with Columbia Township for over 10 years to get that trail to come through and to get the crosswalk. And all of it came together in really an amazing way, because when the traffic really started coming, there were a lot of people that the only way they could be get together was outside and utilizing the trail. We saw an increase in that bike trail of over 90%, was what Great Parks came back and said. People are using this more than ever. And here we were putting a bike trail right into the back. And then when we had parking issues and weren't sure what was going to happen, the crosswalk that we worked on for 10 years?
Charlie, you knew that, but he thought that crosswalk would never happen. I've been listening to that for 2 years. So finally, they referred to the crosswalk and that strip of the bike trail going. And when people always ask, when's the next phase of that bike? It's obviously we've gone behind you and it stops at that bridge. What's the expectation when the next phase of that's going to go through?
The bike trails are it's hard to define a timeline. I mean, I know there's a lot of progress happening from the Murray Trail, which if you're not familiar with the Murray Trail, go online, look up, see what's happening. You probably see the signs throughout Marymount. And the Murray Trail is not necessarily going to connect directly into our part of the trail, but what that does is it creates sort of a benchmark for our trail to get there. So right now, they're trying to secure funding for that bridge. A lot of these bike trails can be funded through federal grants. There's a lot of money out there for that. And so putting those pieces in place right now, that's what's happening behind the scenes. And then, hopefully we'll have it here in the next few years.
Because that bike trail, I know you've been really ambitious about the fact that how much that would help the businesses, because certainly when I go look at like Flip Daddy's closing, and I know I saw some that went through Flip Daddy's questions, when's the bike trail going to come through? So how much help do you think that helps economic development as that bike trail continues to go through?
for any of you that are out there that have been down to 50 West that see, us having to park on both sides of the street with people walking all over the place, I think we make fantastic food. We have a great product. We have a great environment. But I think that a lot of it, people like being outside and they like being active. And I've been preaching this for a long time, that the bike trail for me, it's not about the bikers that you see in the spandex that are there to ride 30, 40 miles. That's not actually who it's most appealing to. It's the family that wants to walk down and go for a walk on the trail and come back and grab a milkshake or have a burger or drink a beer with us. And so I think that as we see that trail continue to expand, we have a whole stretch of land there in Columbia Township that's just it's set to really explode. And you can look at communities, look at Atlanta, look at what's happening in Indiana. I think that we're set up in a really great spot to have some magnificent things happening here in the next 5 to 10 years.
And Charlie, you've certainly seen us work throughout this and seen the passionate champions at both the Slatteries. Both Bob and his father have been on the bike trail, but you've also seen the partnership with Columbia Township. It works pretty well, but what's your observation of all this, finally seeing it come through?
Well, it's fantastic. During COVID, it's been such a trying time for everyone, especially the residents of Columbia Township. And we're really appreciative of this exemplary public-private partnership with Columbia Township and Great Parks of Cincinnati in order to get the bike trail to come through. And one of the things that we're really passionate about is connectivity. And it's so great that as bike paths expand throughout greater Cincinnati, we have the Little Miami Scenic Trail, and we're looking to connect to Marymount, Terrace Park, and a number of surrounding communities, so we have a hub. Very appreciative of that. And the crosswalk that went in across Wooster Pike provides such a kind of a benchmark safe passage for people to come to 50 West, so they're not crossing the street blind. And I think when you look at developments throughout greater Cincinnati, this has just been such a great thing for 50 West, and we couldn't be more appreciative of Columbia Township's contribution to that.
You remember me sending you pictures of people walking with strollers and their babies across, going, we got to get this done, and really, especially during COVID, Melissa, she's not with us right now on this desk, but stepping up and pushing that thing through and getting that crosswalk done was critical, because we only lasted, it was probably only a couple weeks of the families with babies running across the middle of an interstate highway, and we got that crosswalk done, and now the families have a safe way to come down. And for everybody that lives up in Williams Meadow, I mean that's a game changer for those people.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's interesting because we talked before about the you guys opening this restaurant during this pandemic. The irony of it all is you were opening an outdoor bar, an outdoor area with all these outdoor activities, and maybe it was the perfect timing and the perfect storm of what you were trying to do. But the timing of having an outdoor area and having somebody was curious to try the new restaurant, your timing ended up actually working out okay with that.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, our business, I think we have a sign up. If you drive by 50 West in the middle of this thing, I put up on the board, I said, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And we've left that up there for a reason. It really, that resonated. That was a time where we looked at it and said, hey, we're getting nothing but lemons here. What are we going to do? We can sit here and feel sorry for ourselves, or we can figure out how to get this done. And so, we went to work, and I think we're still doing that today. I think we've got challenges that are ahead of ourselves, but knowing that, one, we have the support of the community. Two, we're in a fantastic township. I mean, you guys don't operate, I would say, like we go through all permitting and all those things, and sometimes you get into that bureaucratic stuff where it's just red tape after red tape, and the creativity that you and your team provide for us is such a relief, because we know, hey, if we got to get creative with something, we can go to the township, and they're not just going to tell us, yes, this rule says no, and that rule says no, and that rule says no. I mean, obviously, you have to be responsible to take care of the laws and regulations you have, but it feels like you're working with we're entrepreneurial people. It feels like we're working with another entrepreneur, not working with this big, red tape people that are there to tell us no.
No, it's been a great relationship, and every time we've asked them, as I referred to earlier, we have a community event, a street festival, a Mardi Gras party. Charlie, you've seen all those events we throw. As I said, we don't just get 50 West, we actually get the ownership, Charlie, and the whole team, and to come firsthand, and those are fun to work on too.
Yeah, very appreciative of that. We love doing these charitable events that Columbia Township puts on. They're so fantastic for the community. There's been a number in kind of Madison Place. There's Christmas tree lighting ceremonies. There's so many great things happening in the community that 50 West is a part of, that we're happy to pour beer and donate the proceeds to a worthy cause. I know some of the proceeds have gone to the Murray Avenue Connector, which is kind of a push to connect Murray Avenue with what we've done on the Little Miami Scenic Trail to hopefully connect once the funding comes in place. And looking forward to future events when we're allowed to be together again after COVID.
Yeah, and that brings up an interesting conversation. As I always say to Bobby, the timing kind of worked out with the weather and being outdoors and everything, but then I kept saying, winter's coming, winter's coming. So we had an interesting meeting probably, I don't know, 30 days ago or so, and they came up with this odd idea or this crazy idea of putting in a $100,000 skating rink, and kind of came to us and thought, wouldn't that be cool? And I thought, well, if Columbia Township could actually get together and help sponsor it in lieu of some of the other events that got deferred. Is there any chance you guys could pull that off? And Charlie, I'll let you get started with it, but I'm amazed at what we got here. Go ahead, Charlie.
We've done some pretty crazy things over the years. Putting an ice rink together in under 20 days is probably one of the top 5. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we've worked with a company. We have an ice rink going in. There's a lot of logistics that go into it, but we have a pretty crack team at 50 West, and this partnership with Columbia Township's been amazing. So, you know, your contribution has really allowed us to make this investment to keep people employed throughout the winter, which is a really big thing for us. You know, one of the things that I know Bobby talked about, especially with the onset of the pandemic, is, you know, he just got tired of having to let people go due to financial reasons. And this is a play for us. It's an investment from you and an investment from us to keep people employed throughout the holiday season, as well as create kind of a community hub for people to do a safe, fun, family-friendly outdoor activity throughout the holidays, regardless of what you're celebrating.
And real quick, was we had that meeting, and I immediately called Melissa Taylor, our administrator, and she was creative and dynamic enough to partner with Hamilton County. We brought Denise Treehouse to the site and let them see firsthand what you guys were trying to accomplish and do. So it was a great partnership between not only us but the county too, and it's just exciting to see. So Bobby, tell us a little about the skating rink. What was your inspiration for?
I think the biggest inspiration was just the people that worked for us. I mean, I think that these people, we had such a great summer, and they could all see it. And you know, you got to think about that. This is all of our bartenders and our servers and our cooks in the kitchen, everybody that works at 50 West. We're having this great summer, but they could all see, okay, here's the holidays coming. What are we going to do? And everybody had been in that situation before where we all went black and it shut down, and you're at the mercy of hoping the government puts you on unemployment or whatever. And I think one of the things COVID taught me is, like, it's my job as a leader of a business to take care of my people, and I need to think about how to take care of them without, you know, let's just assume that the government's not going to be there to bail us out. You know, let's figure out a way for us to keep the jobs coming, because the holidays are coming, and the last thing you want is your employees going into the holiday. Think about that as a person going into the holidays. You've got presents to buy. You have all these expectations, and here there's going to be no money and uncertainty. And so we just tried to think, what could we possibly do to keep things flowing, and that's where the ice skating rink came up. And just like I said before, the spirit of Columbia Township to be able to go to you guys with an idea like this and not just have you shut it down, to be able to see the impact it's going to make on our employees and then also on the community. Like, the goal is, you know, our employees stay employed. They're able to pay for their families and stuff during the holidays, and then we're also providing an experience for all these people in the township and the surrounding area to give them something to do, because we all keep hearing the message, hey, COVID might get worse. Hey, the holidays, we're going to be indoors. We might have to go to shutdown again. Being able to give people that outlet. We saw it with the bike trail last time. The bike trail it shot up 90% during COVID. And so, unfortunately, in the wintertime, I don't know if people are going to want to be riding their bike or whatnot, but with ice skating, that's a safe outdoor activity that the family can get together and come and enjoy. And so you guys helping us out with this huge.
Well, it's funny because I did see a post on social media where you must have sent a flyer out about it, and somebody put a picture of that flyer and said, my kids are doing cartwheels, they're so excited to go down and ice skate. But the good news too, when we partnered with you guys, we said exclusively to Columbia Township residents, they get to skate for free. That was part of the deal. Them and their families could skate for free. So Charlie, maybe you tell us a little bit how that's going to work, or the best you know is that we're evolving through this.
Absolutely. So residents of Columbia Township can go to Columbia Township's website, and there's going to be a link there. And if you follow the link, you can enter a coupon code, and all residents who live in the township can skate for free throughout the season, which is going to go from Thanksgiving through early February. Also, Columbia Township is going to have a piece of print media, a newsletter that's going to go out to all residents in the township. At the bottom of it is going to have kind of a perforated edge coupon. You can cut that out, bring it directly to 50 West, and we will honor it. And if you hold on to that throughout the entire season, you're going to have a great opportunity to come skate alone with your family, whoever you'd like, and we look forward to seeing you out on the ice.
Well, thank you. And again, the whole concept here was to create an atmosphere here in the suburbs that nobody else has, that you don't have to go downtown, but it's going to be a downtown-like experience. We're really excited about it. Bobby, any final thoughts on all that? Well, you also have some fire pits and some other things going on, why don't you?
Yeah.
Tell us some of the other things.
I mean, I think with COVID, you kind of have to figure out what do people want, right? We have our customers that they feel perfectly comfortable in an inside space, and and they want their focus is on being warm. And so, we'll have our covered tents that'll be heated for those people that are there. For the people that want to be outside because they don't like the idea of being inside the space during COVID, we went and we purchased a whole bunch of fire pits to sort of create this outdoor campground environment. So it gives the customer the kind of the option to see what they're most comfortable with, what they want. And our goal is first of all to provide a safe environment for everyone, because these are challenging times with new rules and regulations. And then the second part is to provide a fun environment for whatever it is, whether you're somebody that wants to sit inside a tent because you just want to focus on being warm and having that nice warmth around you, or you're somebody that says, hey, I would rather be outside and I'll take my warmth off of a fire pit here. So, and
you guys also, we kind of partnered a bit on that scoreboard you put up there. I say scoreboard, giant TV, outdoor TV. You guys also have done some events, Marymount football games, I believe.
Yeah.
What are the things you guys
so we've been
on?
broadcasting a lot of the high school football games. So right now St. X is on a big run going across. They're going to be playing in that state championship game, and so being able to put that up there, we have a lot of people that reach out to us and they let us know, hey, I really want to come down there. Will you be able to broadcast this for us?
Okay.
And so we've been putting those things up on the board, putting big, whenever the World Series was on or Bengals games on Sundays. With an outdoor environment, it's hard on TVs because you can't just really put a TV up in the middle of nowhere. And so we have that TV that's up there that allows people to come out and gather and watch those kind of events.
We are looking towards future programming of possibly doing, when we're allowed to be together again, some sort of concerts. We might do a Grateful Dead night. We're not totally sure, but we're looking.
People love that. I know that.
We're looking forward to future programming with the digital board. Thank you.
Okay, and guys, thanks for coming, and it's been incredible to watch your success, watch you guys all over the world, the nation, Kroger's, everywhere. You guys are legendary, so I'm honored to have you guys in our community. Thank you for coming here today to participate in this, so thank you.
Thank you for your continued investment in our business and the community, Central Business District, and we look forward to the future of, continuing the Little Miami Scenic Trail, keeping people back to work, and hopefully staying safe during COVID. So thank you to the trustees of Columbia Township and obviously, most importantly, the residents. Thank you for supporting 50 West.
Thank you.